The darkness spreads on the horizon. A distant sound resonates like an echo of something inevitable. The world goes on as if nothing is happening, but there are those who see the signs. The prophecy is not a tale from the past. It is alive, pulsating in the present, unfolding before our eyes. But are we ready for what is to come? March 2025 may not be just any month. The sacred texts have always warned that, before the final outcome, certain events would begin to align unmistakably. And now, reality seems to be shaping exactly as it was described centuries ago. It's not just about political changes, economic crises, or social instability. There is something greater happening behind the scenes of history, something that few can perceive. The big question is, have we reached the moment that so many have tried to predict? Before we begin, I need to ask you a crucial question. Do you really believe that everything happening in the world is just a coincidence? Wars, crises, natural disasters, and changes that defy all logic. Is there something greater behind all of this? The ancient prophecies seem to be coming true before our eyes. And the truth that many ignore may be about to be revealed. But only those who are attentive will notice. If you want to understand the signs and prepare for what is to come, subscribe to the channel now. Here, we explore forgotten prophecies, analyze current events in light of the Bible, and unravel mysteries that could change everything you believe about the future. Activate the notifications, because every piece of information could be crucial. Time is running out, and this may be the last chance to understand what is happening. Are you ready to see beyond what we are told? So come with me, because what we are about to reveal could transform your view of reality. The words of ancient prophets point to days of unrest. John, in his account in Revelation, described times when the world would lean towards an irreversible chaos before the great revelation. Jesus, when speaking about the last days, mentioned signs that would appear in the sky, on earth, and in human behavior. What we are seeing now is just a coincidence or a clear message that the countdown has begun. The time to ignore these revelations is running out. And the question we need to ask now is not whether the prophecies are being fulfilled, but what we should do in the face of them. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Activate notifications and stay with us, because what will be revealed could change your view of the future. The Bible teaches us that those who are prepared will not be caught off guard, but those who close their eyes to the signs, they will be caught by surprise. And you, are you ready to see what's really going on? The acceleration of human knowledge has never been as intense as it is now. We live in an era of technological advances that challenge any predictions of the past. Artificial intelligence, genetic manipulation, and digital control of the economy are realities that once seemed impossible. But is this just progress, or a sign that we are approaching prophetic fulfillment? In Daniel 12 verse 4, it is written, "But you, Daniel, close up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge." This unchecked growth of science and technology may be the key to understanding the times we are living in. In parallel, we see changes in the global economic system that fit perfectly into another prophecy. Revelation 13 verses 16 to 17 warns, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, so that no one can buy or sell except one who has the mark." The elimination of physical money and the complete digitalization of the economy are no longer just speculations, but an ongoing plan. March 2025 could mark the beginning of the definitive transition to this system. Furthermore, there are the cosmic signs. In Luke 21 verses 25 to 26, Jesus declared, "And there will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on the earth, distress among nations in perplexity at the roaring of the sea and the waves." In recent years, rare astronomical events and natural disasters have been intensifying. Could all of this be aligning for something greater? The signs are before us, and ignoring them could mean being caught off guard. The Bible warns us that those who are attentive will not be deceived. The time to question, observe, and prepare is now. If you want to continue following these revelations and understand more about what is to come, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every day, new signs emerge, and we need to be ready to interpret them. The question that remains is, are you prepared for what is to come? We live in times of advancements that challenge the imagination. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries. Science is unraveling previously unreachable mysteries, and information travels instantaneously. But is this unprecedented growth merely progress or a prophetic sign? Daniel 12 verse 4 warns us, "But you, Daniel, close up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge." Could March 2025 be the moment when these words begin to unfold before us? The prophet Joel 2 verses 28 to 31 describes impressive signs. "I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood, fire, and billows of smoke. The sun will turn to darkness, and the moon to blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes." Aren't we witnessing unprecedented astronomical phenomena? Rare eclipses, blood moons, meteors streaking across the skies. Simultaneously, natural disasters devastate communities, reflecting the apocalyptic descriptions. Could March 2025 be the peak of these events? Amos 3 verse 7 reinforces, "Surely the Lord God does nothing without revealing his secret to his servants, the prophets." These prophecies are not vague enigmas, but divine alerts calling us to attention. The question is, are we observing? Meanwhile, the great apostasy is growing. Churches are emptying, and biblical truths are being exchanged for distorted messages. 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 3 to 4 warns us, "Let no one deceive you in any way. For that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship." Now, in March 2025, we see leaders consolidating power like never before. Could one of them be connected to the prophetic figure of the Antichrist? Or is he still waiting in the shadows for the right moment to emerge? Revelation 13 describes the two beasts. The first, a ruthless political power. The second, an absolute control system. The signs are multiplying. The prophecy is being fulfilled before our eyes. But the question that remains is, are we prepared? If you want to follow these revelations and stay alert to what is coming, subscribe to the channel. Time is speeding up, and ignoring these signs could cost us dearly. The world bows down before the first beast, which then imposes the infamous mark, making it impossible to buy or sell without it. Revelation 13 verses 16 to 17 clearly describes this control. "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, so that no one can buy or sell, except for the one who has the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of its name." Now, in 2025, digital technology is advancing towards a controlled global financial system. Physical money is disappearing, digital identities are being discussed, and economic domination seems imminent. Could March of this year mark the beginning of this control predicted in the prophecy? Revelation 16 details God's final judgments. The first bowl poured out on the earth brings painful sores upon those who received the mark of the beast. The second turns the seas into blood, and the third poisons the rivers. What follows are plagues, darkness, and the final battle of Armageddon. The oceans are dying, rivers are drying up, and ecological disasters are reaching alarming records. Are we rapidly approaching these events? Even in the face of judgment, Scripture reminds us that everything happens in its appointed time. Habakkuk 2 verse 3 reinforces this truth. "Because the vision is yet for an appointed time, but it hastens to the end and will not fail. If it delays, wait for it will surely come and will not be late." Jesus also warned us about recognizing the signs. Matthew 24 verse 36 says, "As for the day and the hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." It's not about marking dates but about discerning the events. And now, the evidence becomes impossible to ignore. Isaiah 13 verse 10 speaks about cosmic disturbances. Because the stars of the heavens and their constellations will not give their light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shine with its light. In 2025, scientists already predict rare astronomical phenomena. Revelation 8 verse 12 describes the fourth trumpet. A third of the sun, the moon, and the stars will darken. Creation groans. Romans 8 verse 22 warns us. For we know that the whole creation groans and suffers together with birth pangs until now. The prophecies are being fulfilled before our eyes. Are we prepared? Creation groans, and not only it, but also we, who await the promised redemption. Romans 8 verses 22 to 23 reminds us that something greater is about to happen. The world in 2025 faces intense changes. Natural disasters, mass extinctions, and an environmental imbalance that is rapidly advancing. Could March be the moment when these signs reach their climax? The scriptures point us to Jerusalem as a prophetic epicenter. Zechariah 14 verse 4 describes the moment when the Lord's feet will touch the Mount of Olives, splitting it in two. Before that, conflicts around Israel intensify. In 2025, tensions over the Temple Mount increase and geopolitical clashes reach unprecedented levels. Will March be the turning point of this prophetic drama? The Bible warns us about times of false security. 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 2 to 3 declares, "The day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. When they say peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them." Now, world leaders are insistently talking about a new global order and peace agreements. This unsettling parallel might indicate that something bigger is on the horizon. Ezekiel 38 and 39 predict the war of Gog and Magog, a coalition of nations that will turn against Israel. In 2025, military alliances strengthen between Russia, Iran, and Turkey. Psalm 83 echoes this threat. Come, let us destroy this nation, so that the name of Israel will no longer be remembered. Anti-Semitism is growing, and threats against Israel are increasing. Would March be marked as the beginning of this conflict? Besides earthly tensions, Luke 21 verses 25 to 26 speaks to us about celestial signs and the roaring of the sea, earthquakes, tsunamis, or global crises. In 2025, rare astronomical events coincide with seismic and environmental changes. In Revelation 11, two witnesses appear, prophesying for 1,260 days, before being killed by the beast and resurrected before the entire world. Today, technology allows billions to see such an event in real time. Could March mark the beginning of this prophetic ministry? And then, Revelation 12 presents us with a woman clothed with the sun, about to give birth, while a dragon waits to devour her child. The Bible is full of warnings about the last days, and the prophecies seem to converge on a decisive moment. Could March 2025 be the turning point that marks the separation between those who remain steadfast in faith and those who will follow the path of apostasy? The prophet Micah 4 verse 1 speaks of a future restoration, where the mountain of the Lord will be exalted above all mountains. However, before the restoration, judgment must come. The weight of sin intensifies, but at the same time, a revival begins to emerge. Would we be at the beginning of this final separation between the righteous and the wicked? The Apostle Paul, in 1 Corinthians 15 verse 52, describes a transcendental moment. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. The scriptures warn that no one knows the exact day, but the signs are intensifying. The global turmoil, the increasing persecutions, and the spread of the gospel on an unprecedented scale seem to align with this prophecy. Is the last trumpet closer than we imagine? The prophet Hosea, in Hosea 6 verse 2, mentions a period of restoration. After 2 days he will revive us. On the third day he will raise us up, and we will live in his presence. This passage has been interpreted as a prophetic cycle, and some scholars suggest that we are entering the crucial moment of its fulfillment. As March 2025 approaches, we must ask ourselves, are the signs we are seeing mere coincidences, or an urgent call to prepare ourselves? The Bible instructs us to watch and discern the times. What happens in the coming months could determine much more than we imagine. The scriptures reveal to us that great events will precede the return of Christ. Could March 2025 be the beginning of this prophetic transition? Revelation 8 describes 7 trumpets that announce escalating disasters, from fires to darkness covering the earth. Today, we witness devastating wildfires, increasingly intense earthquakes, and an unprecedented environmental collapse. Would this be the prelude to those announced judgments? The prophet Haggai, in Haggai 2 verses 6 to 7 proclaimed, "Once again in a little while, I will shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations." The world is already shaking. Earthquakes, political instability, and global crises dominate the world stage. God is speaking, but are we listening? Zephaniah 1 verses 14 to 15 brings a clear warning. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hastens quickly. It will be a day of anguish, of affliction, and of destruction. Chaos and confusion already dominate daily events. Wars, rumors of wars, and economic crises grow each day. Could March 2025 be the prophetic turning point, where things start to unfold with greater intensity? The book of Malachi 4 verse 1 warns us, "For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, when all the arrogant and all evildoers will be stubble." In 2025, human arrogance and the challenge to God reach a critical point. Society is moving towards a new world order, while false prophets and leaders emerge, promising miraculous solutions. But the true king is at the gates. Revelation shows us that before the kingdom of Christ, there will be the final confrontation. Could March 2025 mark the beginning of this final preparation for the fulfillment of the prophecy? The time for hesitation is ending. The choice is before us. Will we be prepared for what is to come? The signs are accumulating, and with each passing day, the prophecies seem to align with reality before our eyes. March 2025 may not be the definitive end, but there is something undeniable in the air. A turning point is approaching, and those who are attentive will notice. The question is not just what is to come, but how you will be when that moment arrives. Will you be awake and prepared, with your faith strengthened, or will you be caught by surprise, without discernment to understand the times? The Bible calls us to watch, recognize the signs, and remain steadfast. What we are witnessing now could be the beginning of something much greater. The events described thousands of years ago seem to echo in current happenings, and this cannot be ignored. If the prophecies are already being fulfilled before our eyes, it is not the time to close our ears or turn away. It is time to act, to strengthen ourselves spiritually, and to understand that faith will be the rock upon which we can remain unshakable. The truth is before us, but only those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will understand the urgency of what is happening. Do you feel it? Do you notice how everything around you is speeding up? Do you really believe that all these changes are just a coincidence? Now more than ever, it is the time to seek understanding, to delve deeper into the Word, and to strengthen oneself spiritually. This is not just a theory, not just a simple video, but a call to reflection and awakening. If this message resonated in your heart, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with those who need to hear this truth. The more people are prepared, the stronger we will be in the face of what is to come. Time is running out. Stay alert, be ready. This is just the beginning.